Alright, how's it going? Today we're doing the new dungeon Ghosts of the Deep. Solo flawless on Titan, with Syntheseps and Throwing Hammer, the essentially unkillable Titan build, which you'd basically need for this because Syntheseps and Throwing Hammers can put out a lot of damage and do it without expending any ammo, of course. We're also using Malicious Birthright for blinding, Trace Rifle for killing moths, that's essentially all it's for, and Xenophage, but we're going to be switching to Tracked Cannon for the Ekthar fight, just because, yeah, we're going to be using Throwing Hammers for damage. So to start off with, we're going to Sparrow here, we're going to rally, and to start the encounter we're just going to kill these knights. Now this encounter isn't too difficult to understand. Basically, you're going to have to wait here until an ogre spawns. There he is. Gonna kill him, and then that's going to leave a little green trail, just like in Season of the Hunt, which is going to show you where to go. You're going to have to kill a couple of wizards for the first one. There's 2 wizards and that's it. And the next one is 4 wizards. I still don't know this area too well. Anyway, so we're going to be looking for these symbols. The symbols are going to be used to tell us which statue to manifest, essentially. So for the second wave, there are going to be 4 wizards, and you'll have your super by then, so you might as well just use that. Anyway, on the third one, there's going to be a Lucent Hive. They just spawn on a timer, so we just have to wait. There's the right. So now we're going to crush the ghost. When we do that, we get the Vestige of Light for 1 minute and 20. Now what we have to do is go back into the middle quickly before the time runs out, or I think we die. Maybe not in this encounter. Anyway, we've got to kill the wizard here. We're going to use the Xenophage and a hammer. That's going to drop a deep sight thing. And then we're going to look for the statue with the correct symbol, and that will manifest it. We have to do that 3 more times, 4 in total. Which is a bunch of fun. Not too difficult, just long. The next ogre will spawn once the deep sight is run out. So just kill everything in the meantime. There he is. Get the hammer, and then follow the trail. You can also use your sparrow for this, as I do in a bit, but just when it comes to the bits where you might have to jump, I tend not to be on my sparrow. Anyway, so as we can see, the first one was just there. We've got the symbol, which shows up at all of these, which is the cone symbol. That's what I call it anyway. I'm going to use a super here to take out all 4 of these wizards. You only have to kill the wizards, by the way. So we're going to go out for the trail again. Now, once again, I did not know this area too well because the dungeon's just come out, and I got a bit confused as to where to go. Then I realized that the symbol was right next to me. For some reason I managed to miss that, which is a bit embarrassing, but yeah, it's fine. So now that we're on the third one, we're just going to wait for the Lucent Hive to spawn. 3 hammers, or 2 hammers and a punch, and we're done. Now, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remember what symbol was up in the sky, and we're gonna go kill the wizard, activate Deep Sight, and dunk the vestige into the statue to manifest it. So I use a Xenophage to stagger the wizard and then a hammer to finish off. Because we have Xenophage, we might as well use it at some point. That's that statue. Then we've got two more. There's the ogre off in the distance. If you have biding enhancements, you can one-shot. However, I did not. Anyway, so the trail can go one of two ways for each direction, for a total of 6 possible directions. And yeah, so you just have to pay attention to which way it goes, even once you kill the ogre. Anyway, so same thing. 2 hammers for 2 wizards. Easy. I'm gonna jump down. This one was a bit of a guess as to where to go to. I say that, I just saw that there was a continuation of the trail right next to me. Now we're gonna use the super. All of this time we're remembering which symbol is in the sky. Fortunately, the symbol does not disappear on the final one once you kill the Lucent Hive. So you do have time to look at it just in case you weren't before. I hate moths, they're the worst. And we've got another wizard. It's definitely at least one of each, but then there's the 4th, and I don't know if it's 2 wizards or not. I can't remember. I don't know why they made it. You do this 4 times. It's a bit... You know, it just seems a bit weird, because there are 3 routes, and you can think, oh yeah, no, we'll just have 3 ogres, it makes sense. But no, they just said, no, we'll do it 4 times, because why not? If you're looking for my opinions on this dungeon, it is interesting. It's definitely not fun to do solo flawless, I'll say that. Because it is extraordinarily long. Like, I can solo Shattered Throne, Pit of Heresy, and Prophecy, and still have time left over before I finish this. Which is a bit insane, a bit understandable. The mechanics, although not difficult, can become very tedious. Especially with the underwater sections. Actually, no, the underwater section's alright. I think that's kind of fun. And innovative, so... I know, Ekthar's cool, except he has a lot of health, everything has a lot of health. And it's become absurd at this point. You know, I believe Sumuma, the final boss, has 12.5 million health points, which is absolutely unheard of. Like, that's more than Nezarec or something stupid like that. That's probably not more than Nezarec, but it feels like it. The final boss encounter, it takes so long to start a damage phase, and you do so little damage that it just becomes just completely just boring. You have to fight to remember to pay attention, essentially, which is really not good game design in my opinion. Like, these dungeons are obviously focused around being unable to be one-phased by a whole team, which is really, really detrimental to solo play, because of course you can have all your buffs stacked, you can have Gabahorn, you can have rockets, you can have tether, well, but you can't have all that as a solo player. And people, I mean, I was worried about this in Spire when we had extremely healthy bosses and, you know, very tedious, essentially chores to start the damage phase. This is taken it to another level, and I can only foresee it becoming worse unless something is done. Anyway, so I got stuck on this door here for whatever reason. But anyway, we're just going to drop down now to this level, not below, because that'll kill you. I'm going to jump through this fence. My first run I got really stuck here, but apparently you just jump through this hole. Then you just fall down as much as you can, nothing to worry about. Now there's going to be a small wave of 5. Well, that's not that small actually, but we can take it all out in one super, so we're just going to do that. And now we're going to go for a dive. I don't find these parts difficult in the slightest, because all you have to do is just follow the bubbles. Like, it's pretty obvious when you think about it, like, which way is it going to be? Well, it's going to be the only way that you can go while still surviving. I don't even have to say where to go, because you can just see by what the bubbles are. It should be noted that jumping is much faster than walking, which helps quite a lot. Not really when you're trying to change direction, but for general just going forward, it's a massive boon. This bit was a bit odd, because I didn't know where to go, but you just drop down. On the run I hit a turn back sign on one of these sides, but yeah, they're all viable to be jumped down. Anyway, so we're going to go back inside. And then look for a way to go further. And drop down. There's a small plane of water there, which just confuses everyone, I'm sure. I should also say that momentum is somewhat carried through the water from when you're in the air. So you don't want to break your fall with a jump when you're going into the water, because you'll fall down faster, at least I think. Definitely you can see on the final bit, when you have the vertical water transition, that you can go really fast if you just start doing a forward jump. So yeah, that's a good tip. Anyway, that was the turn back signal that I was talking about. these lifts are a bit weird. I have found that not double jumping at all actually will cause them to act properly and do what they're intended to do, but double jumping actually overrides all the other stuff and just might make you fall down. Anyway, so now we're coming up to the wreckage of the Dreadnought. I thought this was definitely a really cool idea to do. However, you know, you can never fault Bungie for their art design, because it is obviously always stellar. However, the game design, does also have to be a thing. Anyway, so for this section, we just got a couple acolytes and some knights up at top. You can hammer them to kill them, or just run straight through them, since you have a bit of restoration and also some blinding helps. We're now going to continue to drop down. There's our first look at the Dreadnought there. Looks a lot like a worm god, and I know it's actually built out of a worm god, but that's the first time it actually looked like it for me. Anyway, so now we've got some thrall. You can either jump over them or just kill them with the sunspot. Get a healing nade there because I was playing quite reckless, but it's alright. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, so now we've just got some more guys we can push through. After getting in a sunspot, you do get restoration, which makes it extremely easy just to run through things, because you get your health back so quickly. Anyway, so 4 wizards are going to spawn there, 5 actually. You can blind them if you want. You actually don't have to though, because once again, if you have restoration, you're completely fine. And we're just coming up on the entrance now. This is the trolliest bubble ever, because you just can't get it, and then you have to jump again to get it. There. I should say that you do actually have a very lenient amount of time when you don't have any pressure. You have until your overshield runs out, or just before that. And that can actually last for quite a while, so don't be too scared about it. Anyway, so for this we're going to turn back, jump on this ledge, just to avoid a couple acolytes. We're going to start some restoration up. We're going to get Radiant and Armor Charge to 2-shot the Luminous Eye. I'm just going to let all these thrall burn. That blinding nade didn't do anything, so just ignore that. Now for this, you can take everything out, but you don't have to. You can just blind everything and run through. Now I missed the jump up there because I'm stupid. Now you have to be a little bit careful on this bit. I don't know if you survive going through all of these holes, but some are harder than others. Now we're just gonna continue to jump over. And we're gonna go for a dive again. And we're going to meet Ekthar in a second. Was once the Sword of Oryx, now the Shield of Savathun. It's a funny little thing. It's like Alakul again. Anyway, so now we're in the arena. We're going to switch to tracked cannon. We're going to do some epic punching, Titan style. Gonna go around, get the rally flag. Just don't interrupt the acolytes, and you'll be fine. When you're ready, just start punching him. Ekthar will spawn up here. Now we've got to kill 3 listed knights. They die to a Geoshot and a Syntheseps hammer, or a Syntheseps hammer and a punch of Roaring Flames times 3. But you can't launch, or a tracked cannon and a Syntheseps hammer actually. Yeah, that too. Anyway, once we kill those 3 knights, an ogre's gonna spawn at the top. I'm just gonna blind him to make things easy. Once that happens, Ekthar will go underwater, and a deep sight spot will appear. Activating deep sight will show you 3 runes that you have to activate underneath that appear on both sides. For this, you really have to learn the layout of this area if you're going to do it with relative ease. Fortunately, I spent a lot of time doing this on my first attempt. Well, not my first attempt, my original clear. So I've gotten very familiar with this already. So, touching the wrong rune, firstly, will kill you, so don't do that. Touching the correct rune will spawn a Lightbearer Wizard up top. You kill all 3 of those, you get 3 Vestiges of Light, you dunk them in statues, and you do that to progress. There's going to be 1 wizard that spawns up on this raised area. They move around quite a bit, so it could be anywhere. We're just going to dunk that one immediately because we can. Picking up more than 1 does not reset the timer, so just watch out for that. You can use tracked cannon as well, so they get kicked out of their super. So now we've got the remaining 2 vestiges, and we're just going to dunk them in the remaining 2 statues. You do want to somewhat clear out the ads, but not all of them. Whatever. Anyway, so doing that will cause Ekthar to come up top and also spawn a knight here. Killing this knight will allow you to stand in a thing which can damage Ekthar. We're going to use a super. And then we're going to push up once the shield's broken, because we can damage him anywhere now. And then we're just going to hit him with some hammers. We're going to watch our Roaring Flame stacks, so we never run out. But we're not going to murder everything around him, because we want Biotic enhancements up as well. That wasn't the best damage phase, but it was still a fair amount. I think it's a 6 phase, which is not fun. But it's definitely easier than Akalus, at least. So I can give that to Spire. Oh no, to this over Spire. So yeah, no, I was just saying before, my I've sort of broken my controller a bit. My my RB buttons become very janky because I just use throwing hammers so much. and other melee abilities that, you know, sometimes my button doesn't work because I press it too many times, which is fun. So now we're just going to get the runes again. You should also prioritize staying alive over getting the runes, obviously. You don't want to be backtracking at any point, as in turning about face. You want to always keep moving somewhat forward as to avoid Akthar, because he will slam you, and although it won't do too much damage, it will push you off course, which can cause you to not reach a bubble in time, or something as such, and it will kill you. You don't have to get all 3 runes in one dive as well. It should be noted, if the only way to survive is to go back up, or you're not sure where you're going, you can go back up instead. So now that we've done that, I should mention also that I hit Ekthar with the Tract Cannon before the damage starts. So he's already debuffed, so my super can do extra damage, and I don't waste as much time as I can. However, I do lose a bit of damage out, because as you can see, the Tract Cannon does not last the whole time. Ekthar's also a very nice boss because he doesn't stomp you, and if you stand right next to him, he'll more likely than not do nothing. As you can see, he was shooting me a bit with this boomer, and that was dealing a fair amount of damage, so I did have to use a healing grenade. You can also extremely easily avoid his melee attacks because it's just a very slow swipe, which you can just backpedal for, and you'll completely avoid it. So now we're looking at the symbols again. You should also name the symbols, give them your own names as long as they're memorable and distinct. Because, I mean, unless you're a visual thinker, like a very visual thinker, you're not going to remember them, or where they are, or what they correspond to, unless you give them names. My names are quite odd for them, some of them anyway. Some make sense, others less so. I should also say that someone did make a map of this bottom bit and put on Reddit, so if you search Reddit, it's either Raid Secrets or Destiny the Game, but you'll be able to find it there if you just search for it. So wizards can be quite annoying with throwing hammers, because if you miss them, they're gonna go flying. The hammer's gonna go flying, So what I like to do is I like to do a little jump and then the throwing hammer, so I'm looking down so the hammer doesn't go too far if I miss. But also use a regular melee after the first hammer, because that will constitute for a kill afterwards. There you see that was a melee dodge right there. Very simple. I should also say that you get cure. Yeah, so you get a small bit of health back for hitting and collecting the hammer. However, it's meant not to work on the same enemy twice. However, if you use tractor cannon, your next hammer will also give you health back. It doesn't mean spam tractor though, obviously. Tractor does last for quite a while, maybe 10 hammers worth, I think. Probably a little bit less, but definitely over 7. So sometimes, if I'm low, I use tractor cannon and then throw a hammer to get some more health back. So I jump down to the left because I have a cone, and the cone is right there. That's a nice little tip. As you can see, I did go the wrong way a little bit, but that's because Ekthar was in the way, and you always want to move forwards, never through Ekthar, because he can very easily ruin your momentum and therefore the rest of your run. The ability to damage Exile does linger a little bit after you leave the circle. However, don't rely on it. You want to be in the circle for as long as possible. However, checking up on your Rolling Flames and Piloting Enhancements perks does always... it's always beneficial for obvious reasons. Also, if you didn't realize, Ekthor always spawns where the lift is. So he'll always come from there. No, I played it a little bit risky there. Probably shouldn't have gone for that. But I had enough pressure resistance and overshield to let me survive fairly safely, but not. It was a bit close. And he's dead. Don't forget Akasha's ghost. And we're done. There's Ekthar out of here, so we're going to switch back to Xenophage, collect up all the heavy ammo we can, and continue on. The way to continue, you might have noticed there was a little sectioned off area underneath, so we're now going to go through there. Through this little hole here. Then going to go straight for this bubble on the left. And drop down. Now we've got our first and only appearance of cursed walls right here, which is pretty good. But I think this is the only place that they are. To be honest, I don't mind cursed walls too much, because they're not the fastest exploding things. Anyway, so now, since we have a lot of Xenophage ammo, we're just gonna snipe some of these wizards because we can. Then gonna push up, take out the Luminous Eye in 3 shots because we didn't have Radiant or Armor Charge. Watch out for the moths, as always. Yeah, we're gonna do a little skip there. That skips a knight and a couple of acolytes. Now we're gonna get a sunspot going and kill the next Luminous Eye. And then we're gonna jump through here. We're just gonna run straight through all these guys because they're spawning and they don't have time to react, including this big ogre. Have to go around him for obvious reasons, but you'll be fine. You have a healing grenade anyway. So now we're on the drop to the final encounter. Hey, look, it's Oryx. How you doing, Oryx? Still dead. Anyway, gonna rally, and we're gonna start this fight by crushing a ghost. So now we've got Simuma, whatever. She spawns 7 moths at a time. You can do a really cool thing. If you shoot a grenade launcher at the right time, you can take them all out. Anyway, so you want to get out of the middle as soon as possible, and you want to start restoration chaining. There are 3 major knights such as this. Once you kill them, they don't respawn until the next phase, so I suggest taking them out. There's a deep sight in the middle, and a sword knight, which you have to not kill for a second. Activating deep sight will show you 3 specific locations. One of them will always be the chest. You have to kill the knight you have to kill the knight while you are in the spot, not the knight while you are in the spot. That will then cause 2 symbols to appear, taking king in a circle. You have to line them up as such. That actually matters where you stand. So even if you line them up out and you're crouched, that counts as the wrong position. I tossed my hammer over there for some reason, and I think I'm not going to bother without it, so I'm just going to run for it. I didn't even know you could get up there until then. I should note that you don't want to kill the knight at the chest for the first time, because that will cause nothing to happen, essentially. So Xenophage takes the knight out in 2 or 3 shots, depending on your buffs as well, which is very nice. Now, should say that when you activate one of those, when you align the symbols, she'll spawn 7 moths again, which I completely forgot about and almost got completely blindsided by, and the run was almost ruined. Fortunately, that did not happen. This will also cause it to resurrect the knight, whom you will just kill again, as such. So you do this once for each of the nodes, whatever, areas, and they will display 3 symbols. We're now going to go into the water. Doesn't matter which order you do this, but there will be 3 light bearers, one of each type, whom you have to kill. They will give you a specific vestige, depending on, well, what they are. There will also be a symbol, which you have to remember, because that will be where you have to dunk it. The symbol does disappear once you kill the ghost, so you really should remember before that. So now we have the 5 lines symbol, which is right here, except we can't do anything with it until we activate deep sight again. The deep sight spot changes every time you use it. Spawner 3, yeah. At the beginning it'll spawn in the center, and then it'll change between 3 different positions that aren't the center. Putting the wrong thing in the wrong place kills you, so don't do that. If the timer runs out, you die. And you can't dunk anything if you haven't done all the symbol alignment BS. So if you have Roaring Flames times 3, 1 direct grenade launcher shot, and 2 hammers with Syntheseps will kill. If not, a little bit of Trace Rifle and 2 hammers, or 4 Xenophage shots, 4 to 5. You will also want to clear out as many acolytes as you can after you dunk the essence, because obviously you're on a timer now. Timer is fairly lenient, but still quite slim. You might also notice that I'm jumping when I activate Deep Sight. That's simply to make myself a bit more of a moving target, so it's harder for me to die. You can cancel the Deep Sight animation if you have Shatter Dive, Phoenix Dive, or the Strand Dive on Hunter, but they're really not very useful. I think Quick Fall works as well on the Void Hunter. Anyway, so I just used some Xenophage ammo there because I knew that there was a brick on the ground. Also, with 2 special weapons, you get a lot of heavy ammo, which is the main reason why I'm using them, as well as the blinding, and the fact that I barely use the trace rifle anyway. So now this is the final one. Once that happens, you're going to get 3 spots for which you can damage this mover. So we're going to use a super. We're going to get spawned by a lot of things, so we'll have loud announcements. We should have roaring flames as well, which will give us a lot of damage. I'm now going to move towards the back of the arena, so I can have cover while shooting as my Xenophage. I also want to remember to get Armor Charge and Radiant with Hammer Kills. Now, you can run and get some more ammo, but I forgot where my bricks were, so I'm just going to do a little extra damage with the trace rifle. And as you can see, it's gonna be a slow one, boys. I think it's a 7 phase, maybe 8. I don't know, do you think that's 14% or 12.5%? That doesn't matter. So yeah, basically you just do that a lot more, which is very riveting gameplay. The thing is, yeah, the difference between this and Perseus or Arculus is you actually have to pay attention a little bit more, because you have to remember what symbol you're going to be dunking at, and so on. Which means, yeah, you can't shut your brain off as much. Also, the fact that all the lucent moths can really just kill you extremely quickly, and completely out of the blue if you don't remember to look out for them. And as you can see, I threw my hammer into the water there. I'm just going to go get it. You can also use the water as cover to regen your health, because nothing will shoot you while you're in there. Apparently I was a millimeter out, but then I realized that I think that was also the wrong symbol. Oh, sorry, position. Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't. No, that was a different one I was thinking of. Anyway, as you can see, Vorlog was nowhere near the ring. You have to be in the ring, that's all that matters. And now that that's all done, I'm going to go straight to the knight. Since I get a lot of heavy ammo everywhere, I start using xenophage instead of throwing hammers, just because it's a lot safer for obvious reasons. You can also use just one xenophage and 2 hammers. I should say, while we have some downtime, it would be really great if you'd liked and subscribed if you found this enjoyable or helpful. It really helps me out quite a lot. Almost at 1,000 subs as of recording this, and it'd be really great to hit that at some point soon. I probably will not be doing this again on other characters because, by god, is it annoying. If a better strat comes out, or someone finds a better strat, then I might consider it. Hunter doesn't seem too difficult, however, I did try it a bit and I was getting a bit confused as to how to get consistently good damage. I now know that I'm meant to use Liar's Handshake over what's his face, Assassin's Cowl. As for Warlocks, I'm interested to see how Sunbracers would do against Ekthar. I think they might do quite well. Apart from that, you know, just well and Xeno, but you need a lot of extra damage. I don't know, with the amount of heavy ammo that's dropping for me now, I could very easily see Xeno spam with, I don't know, maybe even Starfire Protocol. Because Starfire Protocol is still good, you know. Anyway, like, for example, the way I used it in my Spire the Watcher video, I was using Healing Rift, and I was basically just always had a grenade, and yeah, I was just using it to get my Healing Rift energy back, which meant it was very hard to die. And with double bomber or whatever, and it also made it fairly simple to always have your grenade as well. Anyway, enough rambling, let's get back to the main show. So, I'm also picking up some heavy bricks if I see them. It is possible to get about maximum of 3 magazines of Xenophage, except that's really rare, you need ammo right next to you and such. You can use shoot to loot on the Arc Trace Rifle. I was considering doing that, but then I'd have to actually craft one, and I thought, nah, I can't be bothered. So now we're just going to get the Warlord in the middle. Remember never to do the middle first, always something else and then the middle. I'm also starting to clear out a lot of the ads a lot more. Although this takes up a lot more time, it makes it so much safer, like you would not believe. And now we're just gonna crush a ghost. And we're finally done. So that was Ghost of the Deep, solo flawless on Titan. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.
This was a ritual to resurrect the taken king. By force? We're lucky you were able to stop this, Guardian. I don't even know if what they were trying to do here was possible, but the risk alone. I'm going to contact Ikora immediately. She'll want the Hidden to secure Oryx's remains for study.